Right, let's do it. Oh, let's do this. Right, I've got that there. bit off the thing there. There we go. Alright, well, it should be on. Please be on. Yes, we are. Oopsie daisies. Cancel. Thank you. I don't like hearing that. There we go. Just hear myself. That's a relief. I have plants that will have to go out. Oh, let me just... No, I'm going to sort that out. There we go. Right. Wow, look at the light behind me. That looks crazy. Chat is disabled. What? This is not. So I can see messages. I think, right? Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm just checking it's all working because... No, it's fine. Okay. YouTube, thank you. Right, well, we're live again. Bit off the cuff, I'll be honest. But I did want to do a live stream today. Depending on what time I got back and when I had food and stuff. Which I had fish and chips. So we're all good on that front. But yeah, we are back. I'm going to make sure everything's good. Yes, it is. I think we're all good. Well, yeah, so as the title says, major pattern changes on the way. Not something cold. No, not at all. And you shouldn't worry about that because you don't like my thumbnail. But to be fair, that is literally one of the model runs. I can literally show you that if I go on here, that is literally the model run. So I just picked that as the thumbnail today. But anyway, we'll go through the chat as we normally do for a Send It special live stream. You know, I don't do these too often, but I thought it's only right, seeing as I've missed out on some videos. We'll go through everyone's chats though, you know, chat messages and stuff as we go along. And I'm just going to do that so I can actually, you know, read it. So I can actually see it on my screen so I don't miss any don't miss any messages. So hello to Anne. Good evening to you. Hello to Barb Mac. You know, of course. Hello to you, Les, as well. Nice to see you in the live stream. Hello, mate. Hello to you, pal. I've got Danny V as well, top mod, in the chat as well, keeping things in order. I shouldn't imagine it's going to be too busy because, again, I did it off the cuff a bit, but there you go. Haven't got the branding today. Well, it wasn't really branded, but haven't got it today. Have a quick drink. No. Best channel on YouTube. Well, I do doubt it, Les, but thank you very much for that one. Oh yeah, we're going to have a look at the latest model runs again. I am struggling to see the chat because it says chat is disabled. I don't know, but we'll just get on with things anyway. So we're going to start with the GFS run as we normally do, the 12Z run, and I will show some different ones later on, like the long range stuff for the summer. We'll have a look at some of those charts later on. So anyway, we'll get straight on with things. Make sure you leave a like on the stream and share it out to your friends and family if you think they'd enjoy the content. Anyway, so we're starting off at the moment. We've got high pressure just to our east, and it's pretty settled. Winds are in from the south, so it is pretty mild at the moment. It's not too bad at all. Today's been a bit cooler, but things are about to change as the winds do turn more into the weekend. Looks quite pleasant. Low pressure's way to our north, high pressure's to our south. Winds are in from the southwest, so a pretty pleasant weekend. Nothing ridiculous, but again, a bit above average and quite dry. Into early next week, and this is the general trend, which the models are saying. High pressure sitting just over into the east of the country. Winds are drifting in from the east or southeast, but quite settled. And as you can see, these warm air masses are actually moving up into parts of France and Spain. They're going to just about reach the far southwest. And then again, none of that hyping stuff, none of that hyping rubbish. They're not going to be ridiculous and bring in these heat wave conditions, but it will, you know, go a little bit above average. Quite high above average in the south, but further north, not so much. But in the south, definitely. There's 10 degree ice for moving in. As you can see, though, if you have a look on that day, when that hot air mass moves in, the GFS, it is a low resolution model, so it won't pick up on exact temperatures at the surface. But it is going up to about 22, 23 degrees, but nothing ridiculous like 30 degrees. If we have a look at the previous run for that time, you can see 24, so pretty good consistency. It's going to be right around 21 to 23, possibly a bit higher, though, to more like 25 degrees in that south corner. Into Thursday, we do see a bit of a pattern change further north, and those warm air masses are beginning to transfer further south again. They're transferring back towards Spain again. As we do try and drag in the wind from more of a northwesterly, as high pressure builds out in the Atlantic, winds do transfer into more of a northwesterly direction. So again, remaining quite dry. Slightly cooler further north, nothing ridiculous, but it will have a bit more of a chill to the air. Now with the GFS 12Z run, it begins to build heights over and just to the east again, and we do begin to drag the wind around again from an east or southeasterly direction, and the 10-degree ice-firm returns to the south, and actually moves a bit further northwards, and is kind of hovering around the country. The 15-degree isotherm gets into France, southern part of France. Well, that thumbnail doesn't look right now, does it? Because the 12Z run has a completely different idea. Winds are in from the east and northeast, but they are originating from quite a nice air mass. So the 10-degree isotherm's flipping around the country. 2 metre temperatures, again, with that air mass, aren't that ridiculous? You can see they're reaching 18 to 20 on some days and a little bit lower on others. But again, remember, it'll be pretty dry, probably quite fine as well. Into the longer term, the GFS does continue the trend of what it has been showing. High pressure does properly build northwards, and we do drag in cooler air from the northeast. So there is a change on the way again with this run. Does turn a bit cooler. Again, not cold or anything like that, but temperatures do go from above average at the upper temperature level to below average pretty quickly as well. But again, remember, it's going to be pretty dry. Again, it could be slightly changeable further northwards, but it does look quite dry even into the second week of May, where high pressure resurges back northwards, bringing in okay air masses again. So yeah, bit of a weird run there. We'll have a look at the GEM run next. This is the one I hate, and this is the one which has been given all of the media fire recently because of all these hot runs. So again, we've got into the other part of next week, staying quite dry, high pressure's over and just to the east, dragging in the wind from the west or southwest, pretty mild. Does get the 10-degree isotherm into the south again, quite extensively south. Have a look at the 2 metre temperatures, probably a bit higher because it is the GM. There you go, 24 to 25 in the east and northeast, central Britain 24, and the far south coast 25 to 26 degrees. So that just indicates a bit of model uncertainty and a bit of model discrepancy with the temperatures next week. If we're looking to Thursday the 1st day of May, about 10-degree isotherms covering the south, extending as far north as central England. Again, I don't know the trustability of this model. I'm really worrying about it. But the south coast reaching 27 degrees, further north 24 to 25. It will be a pretty pleasant day, to be fair. And then Friday, high pressure begins to ridge northwards, but again, it's still pretty dry day and quite mild as well. Actually dragging the 10-degree isotherm further northwards. So that's bringing 27 to 28 degree temperatures into London, and quite warm further northwards as well. Into Saturday, we do eventually begin to lose those hot air masses, but they are very slowly going southwards with this run. Again, I do not trust this run with any sort of trust at all, because it's just been completely wrong half the time. But it is keeping that milder end for a time. But then it drops in a cold and, well, I say a cooler northerly, with the -5 line getting into the far north of Scotland. So, you know, how trustable is this model? Because it's going from this heat plume with 25 to 28 degrees straight down to -5 line and cold into Scotland. It's a bit crazy. I just don't know the trustability of that model. If you have a look at the icon next, this one does go out a little bit further out than compared to the other models. Does bring in the wind in from the south and southwest for a time through the early part of next week. Into Wednesday looks when we'll see the warmest air mass, but this one doesn't even get the 10-degree isotherm in. So again, still a little bit of discrepancy between the models. This one does get the temperatures to around 20 to 21 degrees. I do think the GFS is underestimating the temperatures. I do think it will reach 25 to 26 degrees in the south and the southeast. But again, cool as you head north. Now with the icon, it actually does look like it is building out a proper heights to our west, and winds are coming in from a north or northwesterly. So that would have a bit more of a chill to it, have a cooler feel to it. The -5 line is into Scotland. James, if you're watching, they should be getting some snow, pal. But it is the icon, so who knows? And none of the other runs are really going for it. You probably would actually have the potential for some winteriness over the higher ground in the north. But again, it's a long way off in this sort of pattern. And then we've got the UK Met Office run. Let's see what that's showing. Again, high pressure moving just to our east, into the other part of next week. This weekend looks quite pleasant. Again, nothing ridiculous in terms of temperatures, but it is going to be not too bad. Quite pleasant. Again, into the early part of next week, winds return into more of a north or northeasterly. Then warm air masses begin to move away. Again, with the UK Met, doesn't bring in that 10-degree isotherm into any part of the country. It gets very close. just onto the fringes of the south coast, but doesn't quite get in. So there is still a little bit of model discrepancy. Now let's see what you've been saying. We can have a read through the chat. Let me have a read. Evening send it got to 17 degrees here and being sunny. Let me have a read of this. Evening. Right, guys, we have got an impersonator of me in the chat. I hope that you haven't fell for it, because there is an impersonator trying to get James in trouble. I've just noticed that he's got the same name as me, and I have not written those messages, so can we get him out of the chat banned, please, because that is not me. There's someone impersonating me. So they are gone. There we go. They are not me. I don't know why you'd impersonate me, you absolute clown. I do apologise, James. I'll revoke that because that of me is not me. You can tell that because my username's in capitals and theirs in lowercase. So apologies about that, everyone. We have an impersonator in the chat, and I apologise to James if it was you, which I think it was because those messages are fine. So there you go. Apologies about that. I wasn't reading it because I was trying to do my stuff. But yeah, there was a fake Send It's Weather channel in there. You just have to know it is not me because it's not in capitals. Bring me the warm weather, says Les. Yeah, I'll try. Mr. Gamer saying cold. Yeah, it's fine. I can undo it. It's fine. If I can. Unhide user. I thought it was, because it is his exact thing. So, but I just saw that this guy was trying to impersonate me, so I don't know why you'd try that. But yeah, it's fine. You unbanned now, James. So I don't know why you do it. I don't get the point of it. Hello to you, Suit, as well. Hello to Criff Beast in the chat. Hello to Andrew as well, one of my other mods as well. Hello to you. I guess that one got through the slipped through the cracks there. I did just catch that. There, it's fine. It's fine. Right, let's move on. So we have a look at the UKV charts for the next couple of days. Then that's just a little tip, though. That is one little tip I'll give. Just to mods, because it is really hard to catch them, and I only just caught that off guard. But if it doesn't have capitals in my name, or if it has spelling errors, it's not me. That goes for any people's names. I've seen it on many. They're trying to do all the tricks in the book they can now to get people in trouble and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with the chart. So at the moment, we've got an area of wet weather trying to move in from the west. It's not quite getting in to the country. It is just going to fizzle out to our west, stay out to our west, and bring some rain to Northern Ireland. Maybe onto the far southwest fringes could be some heavier rain into the early mornings of Sunday, and for Western Scotland there. I've lost my track now with that. It's fine. But that rain is going to be quite patchy, sporadic, and is going to fizzle out through the latter part of tomorrow. Into Sunday, we have an area of wet weather moving in from the west into northwest Scotland. That's going to clear away eventually, but it does look quite patchy rain for northern Scotland, and quite dry for many parts of central southern England. There into Monday, very dry day. Into Tuesday, dry day. Into Wednesday, dry day. It does look quite cloudy though. Could be a few patches of drizzle at times. You've just seen a click of those temperatures. So today it's reached 15 to 16 degrees in the south and southeast, but further northwards it's been a little bit cooler. Again, around to slightly below average, I'd say. Into Saturday afternoon, temperatures are expected to reach 17 to 18, maybe even 19 degrees in the far southeast and south coast. And then further northwards again, turning a little bit cooler. Bit cooler in places such as the Lake District there, and Wales. Still quite mild in, quite nice, pleasant in the Republic of Ireland. Into Sunday, temperatures widely reaching upwards of 20 to 21 degrees, pretty pleasant day, and quite not too bad for sunshine as well. Again, further north, there's a bit of contrast, 22 degrees further south, 9 degrees further north, so that's quite interesting. Into Monday, temperatures reaching 22 to 23 degrees in the southeast. Again, pretty widespread 20 degrees, so again, pretty nice day. Tuesday, wow, look at that Tuesday with that warmer air masses moving in. 24 degrees, highs, maybe even reaching 25. and even into western Scotland there, I mean into eastern and southeastern Scotland, reaching 20 degrees as well. So pretty nice day. Much of Ireland, 20 degrees, and even central Britain, 21, 22 or 23. Into Wednesday, cooler night, but again, it looks probably like it'll be quite a nice day later on. Big as the swines, yeah. It's one of them things. I thought you were a bit handy with your typing. Don't worry about it. We love you. I love you anyway. You're all good. There are some very sad people out there, Andrew. You're right, but they've got nothing better to do than try and impersonate people. I mean, you can't write it, can you? Couldn't even copy the name properly. Exactly. If you're gonna fake my name, get it right, you absolute numbskull. Anyway, it felt a bit cooler, more cooler than anticipated. It has been quite cool today. I've had my coat on. I've been on like a trip, and I had my coat on because it was quite chilly where we went. Lovely and sunny evening where I am. I'd say it's not too bad. I'd say it's not too bad at all, actually. Pretty nice evening. Right, we'll move on then. So I'm going to show you the CFS charts. Anyone want to see the CFS for May? Well, look away if you want a nice May. It has high pressure out in the Atlantic, low pressure, or weak area of low pressure, just to the west, oh well, just to the east, I should say. God, what am I doing with these weather words? Just to the east of Iceland. Winds are in from the north or northwest. That looks like a pretty cool and changeable May. June looks quite volatile. High pressure is blocking to our north and west. Looks good for my forecast. And to the east as well. Winds are in from the southeast, so pretty warm and probably even hot. But you can see an area of low pressure to the south. That's going to be bringing in stormy weather. Yes, get in. It looks good for my forecast. July looks a lot better though if you want it dry. High pressure centred to our north. Winds are in from the east. Easterly winds in June, July and August, and maybe even May as well, are usually quite warm. So, looks quite good. August also looks quite pleasant. High pressures to our north. You'd expect low pressure just to be out to our south. Winds are in from the east again. That looks pretty nice as well. We'll look a bit further out. September looks pretty good. September's usually a good month, to be fair. High pressures to our north again. Winds are in from the east or southeast. Pretty good. October. High pressure sat right at the top of the country. Winds are in from the south or southeast. A pretty nice month. November looks cold and possibly even wintry, but that is a long way off. High pressures to our north, blocking towards Greenland. Low pressures towards Scandinavia. That is a cold and wintry pattern. And then December, I mean, it's a long way off, don't take it literally. With high pressure properly blocking to our north and east. Winds are in from a northeasterly direction. Again, it's a long way off, don't take it too literally. But that's just what it's showing today with the CFS. So pretty interesting run there. Now let me just see if I've got any No, I haven't. Let me see. Oh wow. No. Why? What? Thank you very much once again. I mean, I'm not really sure what these things are. And I mean, Stormbringing, you said changes. Lol, they are changes on the way. If we have a look at the, you might not believe me, but if that happens, a 10 degree ice firm to a 0 degree ice firm is quite a big change. And it also looks to turn more unsettled, especially with this run. Haha, got you there! No, I'm joking. But yeah, it does look to turn a little bit more changeable with winds in from the north and northwest. So definitely a bit of a change on the way there. If we have a look at the ensembles, we'll look, I don't know, Barnsley today. It is going to turn much milder. Again, could be a bit more higher further northwards. So London is getting up to this 10 degree line. But it is turning widely above average for at least a week into the first week of May. It does look to turn slightly cooler or more changeable. Again, this line is cold. It's not looking cold. It is looking a little bit below average, though, and definite change on the way. If you do look at the end of the run, it does look more unsettled as well. After a dry start, I mean, this is pretty dry. It does look slightly more unsettled. Not as much as the earlier runs, but again, you've got to remember, anything past day 10 with these stupid models is not to be trusted because they've got it wrong so many times in this last week. They were going for this warm spell, then they went for a cool spell, and they went for a warm spell. So anything past around day 10 is absolutely unreliable at the moment. And the exact aim, as we see, into the first day of May is also uncertain and unreliable. If we have a look at London, you can see, like I said before, The 10-degree ice firm does look to reach London just about. The GFS latest run does extend out the warm spell, maybe even hot spell, some of you consider it. I'm not sure if I would, but it's going to reach 24 to 25 degrees in that south corner, I'd expect. Before it does eventually drop off into the longer term and turn more cooler and changeable. Cool and showery, you'd say. We desperately need rain here. Yeah, we need some rain here too. It says, my thing says I've had 6.8 millimetres. Can you check Kate for next week? Of course I can. 1 minute. I can go on here as well. And we'll have a look. I don't imagine it being too high. I know you'd be after that, but I'll have a look for you. That's fine. UKV, and we'll have a look at the Cape. There is not that much rain around. If we do have a look, looks like there's some in Scotland. There's some bits like Grays in the north west of Scotland, but the Cape levels are quite low and not really favourable, I'm afraid. They don't look great, but yeah, definitely turning cooler in the longer term by the looks of things. A bit more showery further south as well, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Leslie from Nottingham. That's not bad. That's not too far from me. It's not too far from me at all. There we go. So I think I've presented everything I have. I mean, I do apologise about the disruptions today, and thank you to the mods as always for taking care of it. Unlucky with the other one, but got the Anne Smith one. I mean, what was that about? I do apologise, Anne, for someone impersonating you. They do try every trick in the book. Ugh. Hello to you, JS Photo. Thank you very much for the support on the channel with your super chat. Apologies, it make the noise. I'll try and make it work. Here we go. Oh, it's not. I'm sorry, the noise isn't going to work, but I can see your message has popped up there. Thank you very much, but it's not going to pop up on the stream, I'm afraid, because again my streaming software is broken. But what's your bet of it reaching 24 plus in Stanton Hill, Nottinghamshire? You know what? I'd say there's a decent chance of that happening. To be fair, Josh, I would say there's a pretty good chance of that happening. I'd put it about 50%. Do I reckon I'm going to see 20 degrees? Probably not. Probably not. But you can see it is going to reach around 20, 21. If we have a look at the UKV charts very quickly for you, we'll have a look next week. So it is reaching like 21 to 22. So remember, the UKV under does it, and it's a few days away. So you know what? I would not rule out the chance of you seeing 23 or 24 degrees. So it's looking pretty good for you there, isn't it? And even on Tuesday could even reach that. I'd say there's a high chance, because look, Nottingham's basically on my cursor, 23 degrees. It probably could reach 24, so it looks pretty good for that sort of chance. Oh my god. It's time to pump. No, it's not. It's really not. Pump the money. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Christoph. Clap to you. You'll take 24, yeah, I certainly would. Thank you very much, Christoph. That's very kind. I really do appreciate the support from both of you, Josh and Christoph. Thank you very much. I'll go a long way in supporting the channel with the big plans. Just you. Oh my god, that's all right. Here we go. Bad Mac with the. Oh my god. Oh, here we go. Guys, you can calm down. Well done. Yeah, well done. Thank you, everyone, for the support. I mean, that's crazy. From the money from Christoph, and then... but yeah, 24 degrees, definitely likely. Barb, thank you very much again for your support. I know you're in the Discord. If you do want to join, the link is in the down below. And there we go. The link is down below. I don't know what to say now. But yeah. That's that. The chance definitely is there though of reaching 24 degrees is what I'm saying. It does look quite nice, so if you want to get your barbecue on, next week is the week to do it. Around Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd say, with the temperatures reaching 20 to 25 degrees. Looks quite dry though as well. But yeah. What do I say? Thank you very much. I'll drink a cup of tea to you. Alright, thank you, Ben. What happened? Thank you very much, Ben, for your super thanks as well, super chat. What happened? I don't know. I literally don't know. Apart from everyone started donating to me. I mean, what was this about? Who's donating to this geezer? It's nice to see you here though as well, Ben. Nice to see you in the chat. What happened? But yeah, I have literally no idea. That is amazing. Yep, you all are amazing. You are all amazing. It's really not time to pump the money though. I don't deserve it. Oh, it's nice to see Crift as well. Sorry, I don't know if I shouted out your name before. Crift. Yeah, thank you very much, Ben, for joining. But yeah, I have no idea what happened at all. But yeah, there we go. Well, it makes the stream. I'm gonna mod a stream now. Go for it, Ben. You enjoy yourself. We're just rambling on, me having a bit of fun. Yeah, again, I will put on one of those like roles when I get better at editing and stuff. I'll put on one of those roles of people that have supported me, and we'll get that sorted. I'll get James on the case, not the fake James, but the real James. I'll get James on the case doing that if he's happy to do it, of course. But I'll have to have a look at it, won't I? I want to thank people for doing it and show it actually is doing something to the channel, because it definitely is. That there is getting changed. Anyway, right, let's have a look at the CFS, and I want to look. I know it's a long way off, and some people say, "Oh, it's a long way off," but we're having a look. All right, it's my channel. I do what I want to do. All right. Anyway, so if we have a look from the 1st of June, I'm going to say this is summer. I know it starts on the 21st, and that's the summer solstice. But let's see. High pressure looks strong to our north. Low pressure's out to our west. Winds are in from the south or southwest. Bringing up the 10 degree ice firm looks quite unsettled and maybe even a little bit thundery with that area of low pressure, but it is dragging in some pretty mild or warm air. Now just turn slightly more unsettled further north through that first week, but then here comes a surge of warm air, 10 degree ice firm flying through the country, 15 degree ice firm into the far south. That's going to get the temperatures into the mid-20s. That looks very pleasant. And for the second week of June, I'd say pretty dry as well. High pressure just takes over, really, and we keep the winds in from the south or southeast. Wow, 10 degree ice firm remaining around the country for a while. Does turn cooler at times, but again, you've got to remember it's June, so not exactly ridiculously cool. Maybe slightly high teens, low 20s. That low pressure is moving up from the south into that into the cooler air, so probably quite wet weather. Does look quite unsettled, but again quite warm as well, with winds remaining in from the south and southwest. So if you do want a pleasant June, this is the one for you. It doesn't look ridiculously hot, no. Heat waves and, well, might be a couple of heat waves, but nothing absolutely ridiculous throughout this world. And again, could be quite stormy for you stormy lovers out there. Winds do return into the first week of July into more of a west or southwesterly, with the 10 degree ice firm returning again. 15 degree ice firm flying through the country. That would get the temperatures to the low 30s of that area of low pressure to the south. That's going to bring in some thundery activity. Into the second week of July, an area of low pressure continues to move through, and that looks quite wet, especially further north. Nothing too ridiculous, though. It is a bit unsettled, but nothing that, remains to be seen. That 10 degree ice firm sticking around the country for a long time. That's keeping the temperatures probably around the low to mid-20s for much of the run. And if this did happen in April to May, it would still again be probably upper teens, low 20s. It's nothing. The sun's strength gets stronger as we go into like June and July. So you'd expect it to be a bit warmer then, and the temperatures are slightly lifted up, even with slightly cooler air masses. So seeing the 10 degree ice firm in late April, early May is quite rare. It's not that common, of course. In the modern day, it's quite common, but it is quite exceptional to see sort of air masses like that so early on in the season. Now into the end of August does turn again more unchangeable and probably slightly cooler as well. Winds in from off the Atlantic. Remember, Atlantic westerlies are actually cooler than average during the summer than like during the winter, for example. That looks quite nasty on the 2nd of September. That looks quite wet, but again, of course, it is 3,000 hours away, but it's just to see if there's any trends. I must say that trend of it being quite a volatile and warm, maybe even hot month in June has continued from our summer update, so that's pretty good. But it does look quite unsettled into the start of September, but it is, again, a long way off. But it does look quite mild at times as well. At the very end of the run, we're setting up a northerly blast, but again, it's the 9th of October. How cold would it be? Probably not that cold, let's be honest. Let me see. Discord server. Yeah, thank you to everyone, though. The Discord server isn't actually in your description. It says join, but no link. What? Of course. Of course, it's not working. Does it actually? Because on mine, it actually has the link. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Right, I'll fix that. Very quickly, one moment. I'll send a link in the chat as well. If anyone does want to join and chat to everyone about all things, send it and just chat with members. The lovely community we've got on there. Here's a Discord. You'd love to see temperatures into 30s. I don't mind it, but 20 to 25 is kind of my prime. I wish that the ocean was warmer and cleaner on our coast. Exactly. It is quite messy when you go to the beach sometimes. But there's lots of different practices going on, isn't there? Like when I went to Scarborough a few years ago, they had this, like, I don't know, it was like a fish or something. And there was like a fish or something, like where you could put like plastic bottles in. So they are trying to do different things, but of course some people are going to ruin it, aren't they? And you know, there's littering and stuff being washed up. But cheers, JS Josh, for telling me that the link wasn't on there. It wasn't on there apparently. But again, it's glitched. Cheers, Suit, for joining the stream as well. I've just noticed that you've left. Would love to see temperatures into the 30s. Wish that the ocean was warmer and cleaner, though. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, it does start to wind down mid-August, yeah. I remember that September. When was that, last year or the year before? That was pretty exceptional. That was a pretty exceptional a pretty exceptional month, if I remember. Temperatures were around the 30 degrees for the first week. So that was a pretty interesting spell of weather, I must say. I can't even end it. Wow. The end button's grayed out. I wonder how I'm going to do that. But, yeah. So I think we've gone through everything. Thank you to all of the super chatters and donators. I do appreciate your support. Bit of a quieter live stream, but at least there's been some chat going on. And again, I do apologise about the idiots trying to impersonate people. Thank you, Les, for that super chat as well. I know you're a legend. You're always watching. Thank you very much, Les, for that. And I like the little animation it's sent. That's quite cool. How's it going? It's going great. How's your day going? And yeah, just a big credit. I'll go to everyone's name. Ben, Barb, Matt, Christoph, of course, and Josh. Thank you very much for all of that. Hope Hazel is still around and will pop in at some point. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so too. I think she is fine. I have seen her around. I think we will see a 40. We've seen a 40 a few years ago. Yes, we definitely have seen a 40 a few years ago. Blue Cloud. That we did see it. Was that 20? I'm really bad on years. I can't remember. 2018 was pretty hot. I know that we had a 17 degrees CET in September. Yes, I knew it. I knew it, Josh. I did get that one right. 17 degrees CET we saw. 2023. Was it 20? I think it was 2022. Shows how the years just fly by. I'm thinking of that year when Gav was like, witnessed one of the most ridiculous GFS runs I've ever seen, and I swore that was in 2022. But maybe it was 2023. It did hit it though, didn't it? Because there was that GFS run, which everyone ruled out, and all of a sudden it happened. Yeah. Am I right? Yes, get in. I love when I'm right. Maybe. See, I'm the same as you, Bob. Time does fly when you're having fun, in terms of weather. Will we see it again soon? You know what, Blue? I'm going to say 2027. Or maybe even this year. Because they look like quite warm years. 2026 is going to be a cooler year. I'm just saying that now. I think that 2026 is going to be a bad winter. And I know I said that last year, but I think the synoptics are looking good. But 2022, yeah, I am right on that one. But thank you all very much for joining today's stream. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like on the stream. Share it out to your friends and family if you dare. But yeah, thank you all for your support. Back to the regular video schedule over the weekend. But again, I've got exams and stuff coming up. Cheers to the mods. Cheers, James. I've just seen you pop in. Awesome stream. Send it. Thank you very much. I do apologise about the ban, but I've sorted it out now. And to the mods, thank you very much to everyone. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.